As many of you know, on September 11, 2012, Islamic militants attacked the American diplomatic compound in Benghazi, killing U.S. Ambassador Christopher Stevens and Sean Smith, a State Department communications officer. Now, a book called 13 Hours tells the story of that night from the perspective of the 5 surviving contract security operators who defended the compound. So joining us now are 3 of those men, Mark Geist, Chris Peranto, and John Teagan. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This topic became, political firewood. And I'm curious from your perspective how it all played out for you, because you really know what happened.
Yeah. Well, they were there.
Yep. Yeah, you were there. Right. So tell us from someone who was there what actually happened.
Me first? Just a brief synopsis, if I can keep it brief.
That's what we said. It has to be less than 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry.
Or 13.
It was, there was an attack on the U.S. consulate,
right.
Or special mission is what it's called now. We always consider it the consulate. That was what we knew it as. And we responded to that in a nutshell, saved several of the Department of State diplomatic security agents' lives, came back to the annex. After fighting off a counterattack at the consulate, and defended our compound throughout the night with 3 different attacks. We did lose 2 of our teammates, as you know, Glenn Bub Doherty and Tyrone Woods, and during a mortar attack. And basically, the gist of it is that we were delayed, which cost lives. We were called for support, not given support, which we believe also cost lives, which has been the big factor. And then the aftermath with the video and the talking points, which really have no business being part of this, because they have nothing to do with the attack that night.
Y'all, you heard that the compound was being hit, and you were told to stand down.
More than once, right?
How many times?
3 times.
3 times.
Tanta was told once. I was twice. I was told to stand down and wait once.
Were you confused as to what the holdup was?
The initial wait. I mean, our assumption was that they were trying to get just a communication between us and the local militia that was supposed to be the consulate's QRF force, quick reaction force, and just so that when we linked up with them, they didn't assume we were bad guys trying to rush in. And so the first 5 minutes, that's what it was, and then 15 minutes later, that's when I got out of the car and said, hey, we need to get it over there. We're losing the initiative. And Bob looks at me, which is the chief of base, says, stand down, you need to wait. And at that moment, that stand down to me meant we weren't going to leave no matter what. Because other previous security situations that happened, like while I was held up at the airport at gunpoint for 5 hours, he never left our QRF leave the compound. They never even got to even come close.
So how long was that window of stand down from the time you heard?
25 to 30 minutes.
25 to 30 minutes of crucial time.
Yeah, we finally left on our own accord. We were never given the okay. We just basically said to heck.
You moved forward on your own.
Yeah, we said to heck with it. We're going, and we left.
It was mainly it was the rate, because the whole time we're sitting, we're getting radio traffic from the state guys. Yeah. And the final one was, hey, if you guys don't get here, we're all going to die.
Did you make that decision together?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
and it was an easy decision for everybody to make, it wasn't like they had to talk about it. You look at each other and thumbs up and let's go, because had they not left at that time, we'd probably have been mourning 7 people's lives instead of just 2.
Yeah. Do you think you would have lost 2 had you not been asked to stand down?
I believe we would have saved both Ambassador and Sean Smith, because the fact is, when we arrived there, I mean, they would have had to contend with us. If we left immediately, they wouldn't have had a chance to even light the buildings on fire.
So you get there, and it's already on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Completely burned down?
I mean, the vehicle was even completely almost burned down.
Most of the buildings, in the Middle East, most of the buildings are made of, there's not a lot of trees over there, so they're mostly stone and stucco. So, the interiors, they were just all aflame, and you'll see the pictures, they're just black, and they were extremely hot. So, when we got there, though, the compound was ablaze. I mean, it was burning just like you see on the news.
And at that point, I'm sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask him, just out of curiosity, did y'all ever get a chance to talk to the commander who gave you any of the stand down commands and say to him, what were you thinking if you were trying to keep us safe because you wanted to make sure that the communication was there? When we told you over and over again, we got to get in there, we got to get going, why didn't you listen to us? I mean, did you have a conversation with anyone?
We were never really given the opportunity to.
What would you say to him now?
Why'd you tell us to stand down?
Just-
What was the wait? Because, I mean, if you're saying they can come back and say, oh, they were getting intel, they're going to try to get us some information before we went over there. We still went over there blind. We still didn't know what we were getting into, but that's our job. We go in, we get in the area, and we assess when we get there.
Do you guys think it was an epic fail by the State Department? Do you
Yes.
see it
Yeah,
that
oh yeah,
way
yeah.
personally?
We've said that.
I mean,
We've said that before.
From months leading up to it, you have a compound that's about 8 acres in the middle of one of the most dangerous countries or cities in the world, a country that had, no significant government force in Benghazi, no control of it, militias 10, 15, 20 different militias that were in or around the town, and you have 5 diplomatic security personnel protecting 10 acres, protecting the ambassador, the direct representative of the president being guarded by 5 diplomatic security agents.
And that, of course, had been brought up previously
Yeah, we brought
about
up
we
by-
don't have enough protection here.
Right.
By the agents on
All the
ground.
agents brought it up. Sean Smith brought it up.
So you get there, and this place is burnt down, and you get on top of some roofs, right?
We did after we
We were in there. We were searching. We were actually there, still searching for the ambassador. We had our team lead got the state guys together, got them in their vehicle, and as they were getting in their vehicles, we actually got counter assaulted while we were at the consulate.
Yeah.
And I moved up onto the roof and engaged, and they eventually came up and got up on the roof at the consulate, and all the fires stopped, and we were able to get down off the roof. I mean, obviously, it was a lot.
Hence,
longer
it was
than
the
this, but-
13 hours on,
Yeah.
on the roof and
No,
4
no,
attacks.
not on that
Well,
roof.
it was-
We got down. We went back to the annex, and that's
when we.
where the rest of it took place.
Will you all
crazy.
stick with us for another segment?
Sure.
And I'd like to talk to you about your feelings about the coverage after everything happened,
Okay.
and maybe the frustration that
Sure.
your story wasn't really being told. So we'll be back with more right after this.